Ezekiel Elliott doing a spin move at the line of scrimmage. Interesting. They showed Antonio Brown, but here they're showing Josh Norman. They showed a receiver and a corner. Interesting. And then here, Josh Norman getting an interception against Dez Bryant. Today, I'm going to talk about this further. What's good, YouTube? Now, Dorsey May Gaming here, as you know. I want to talk about the actual trailer because when I did the last video, I kind of just rambled through a bunch of stuff, but I actually want to break some stuff down. Now, at the start, you see these screenshots that I had there. I'm going to be sharing them on my Twitter along with what I think they mean. I'm going to try to anyway. But you know, okay, let's talk about this. Okay. Now, when Brady is entering the stadium, I don't have a screenshot of this. It was very hard to get a screenshot of this. You just have to go back and watch the trailer and you'll see what I'm talking about. But as he's going underneath the tunnel, when he's going through the things that's shooting off the fireworks, if you look at the screen, it looks like it's saying network. It looks like, I want y'all to go and look at the NFL Network logo. It looks like the NFL Network logo. That's what it looks like on the big screen. Now, the reason, at first I was like, well, maybe it says New England. But as it goes on further, at the very end, before it fades out, you can see the actual NFL, little small NFL logo above those big letters. That's why I believe it says NFL Network. Another reason I believe it says NFL Network is because at the very opening scene, when you see it shows Pittsburgh Stadium. On the screen, it says Steelers. So if it was to say New England on the screen that Tom Brady is running out to, it would have said Patriots, but it doesn't. So, y'all, I'm going to make a guess that we'll have a new broadcast team, and it's going to be run by the NFL Network. Interesting. Also, what I think is going to happen is that in franchise mode and story mode alike, you'll have actual NFL Network shows breaking down what's going on during the season. I think they're coming with all the shots in this one. Okay. So starting out, NFL Network commentary. Okay. Now let's get down to these other screenshots. Another screenshot that I didn't get because you can see it. It's a battle between the offensive line and the defensive line. Okay. What does that mean for the game? Because now, mind you, this trailer is telling you what's in the game, the stuff that they're improving on. I think it's going to be better offensive and defensive battles at the line of scrimmage. So we may be able to see more pancakes. We may be able to see more defensive line penetration on the offensive line. Hopefully. Now, the three screenshots that are pictured. The first one, Ezekiel Elliott. What is he doing? He's doing a spin move. But where is he doing that spin move? At the line of scrimmage. How many of y'all have gotten the ball with y'all running backs, and as soon as you touch the ball and this is the guy right there, you can't stiff arm, you can't truck, you can't spin move, you can't do nothing. I think all of that's going to change. Not only that, but look at the spin move that he's doing. Amazing. Okay. And now after that, it fades to an image of Antonio Brown, which I didn't get that because they've done the receivers. That's nothing new. I took a screenshot of Josh Norman. Why? Defensive assignments are back in Madden 18. We know this because a guy tweeted, one of the developers at EA, and he tweeted back, yes, basically. So you will once again be able to assign your top secondary backs, linebackers, whoever, to guard or stay with one of their top offensive weapons as well. And I think that's also the premise, on both sides of the ball. So, because they also showed an image of Antonio Brown making a catch over one of Baltimore's safeties. And then that last screenshot was of Josh Norman getting the interception over Dez Bryant. So we could possibly see what we talked about in the defensive improvement video with them going back and saying, we need to revamp how the secondary plays. So, and one thing that they may bring back, and I hope that they do this really well balanced, because one time they made the defense too good. You had mediocre DBs that was just sticking in the hip pocket of the receivers all the time. And now on Madden now 17, you have mediocre receivers, one hand and catches over top-notch secondary backs that we know wouldn't happen in real life. So hopefully they're going to balance that out to where if you're an elite, you're going to play like an elite. Because him and Dez Bryant in that picture, they're right there. It's a battle. So, that's the stuff that I'm seeing from the trailer. To recap that, potential NFL Network commentary as well as shows. Running backs being able to make moves at the line of scrimmage, no longer just falling into that whole animation thing. But I think the biggest takeaway of it all is defensive assignments are back, and they're going to improve the secondary as far as covering wide receivers and things of that nature. Because they showed the catch with Antonio Brown making a catch, and I think that that's because he was lined up. It was a mismatch. And then they showed Josh Norman getting the pick because it was a battle. He won. It was a good matchup. But I was going to wait to do this. I was going to wait to talk about this, but I said I'm going to go ahead and put it out because I want to go ahead and get this stuff out there so that, I want to be that source that you come to talk about these things, YouTube is the type of thing where it's just like the news. It's kind of one of the first person reporting on it type of thing. So hopefully what I'm talking about in this is right. Hopefully we'll know when time comes. But when you break down a trailer, that's the stuff that you see. They're showing you stuff that they're improving on in the game. Now, are those cut scenes? With Ezekiel Elliott doing the spin move, I don't think that's a cutscene. I think that's actual in-game play. I think that's the instant replay. And if it is, that's going to be amazing because that was extremely fluid. We know that the Josh Norman interception and things like that are also. However, take that with a grain of salt, y'all. And the reason why I say that is because, last time, whenever you first started playing Madden, you played that opening scene of Madden. And who is it? It's the Steelers. But this time, I think it's going to be the Cowboys and Washington. I think what they're showing here is actually a cut scene from the opening kind of story type of gameplay that we did at the beginning of Madden 17, where they show stuff that's not actually gameplay, where they're actually it's kind of like a story type of thing. I mean, it looks awesome. You hear them talking and stuff like that. I think that's where they're going with that. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt as far as that being actual gameplay. I don't doubt that stuff like that may be actually in the game as far as the spin move that Ezekiel Elliott is doing. But I kind of feel like that stuff could also potentially be like the whole cinematic intro that you play in a sense of, you got to make a play or something like that. But at the same time, I don't know. I could be wrong simply because they did show Antonio Brown, the Steelers against Baltimore, and he was making the catch. So only time will tell on that, y'all. That's all I got for right now. Best believe we are going to dive deep into this. Till next time, y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And God bless.